a lot like socialism. Joining him now is Congressman Steve King of Iowa. Congressman, Obama's agenda of wealth redistribution has never been hidden. Did you ever think they'd try to sell us that unemployment and food stamps are actually economic stimulus?
Well, it's just completely brazen to hear a cabinet member say that we need to give away food stamps, and it's $1.84 worth of economic activity. That rolls on the tail end of Nancy Pelosi for a couple of years now, saying that unemployment checks are about the best stimulator you can get. And now we don't know yet whether they think food stamps or unemployment checks are the best way to stimulate the economy. It is outrageous. It's breathtaking. And listening to Maxine Waters in the previous segment as well tells me that they are socialists to the core. One day in Judiciary Committee, I pointed to all the Democrats and said, "You're all a bunch of Marxists," and they were not even offended. They're members of the Progressive Party, and the cabinet they are carrying the president's message. So this is the president's message:
Sure.
More food stamps, more unemployment, less economic growth.
Sure. Not only the message, there are 45 million people on Americans on food stamps right now. That's up 42% under Obama. Boy, if that's not an indicator of his spread the wealth and socialist tendencies, nothing is.
Well, it went from 31 million just a few years ago now to 42 million or maybe more. They're out there recruiting as fast as they can. They increased food stamps in the last round by 46%, and the best witness that they could find to say so was Janet Murguia, the president of La Raza, that said that one of the reasons we have obesity in America is because of food anxiety. If we would just give people more food stamps, they'd have less anxiety, then they wouldn't overeat when they did have a meal.
Congressman,
I can't argue with that kind of thing. I can't connect with it.
But what we really need to do, give me a couple of minutes here of your brain. You're the guy there. Let's talk about that. That dollar that they're talking about, that giveaway of a dollar that creates $1.84 in Tom Vilsack's, liberal la-la world. But that dollar has to come from somewhere. That's a tax dollar that some hardworking American had to pay into the government. So it's not just creating a dollar, it's taking it from someone else who earned it.
It takes it right out of the private sector, and it takes it out of the growth of the private sector, too. And 41 cents out of each one of those dollars is borrowed money, and half of that's borrowed from places like Saudi Arabia and China. And so we're borrowing just to hand people money, asking them to spend it. It is a ludicrous economic proposition. It's Keynesian to its core, and they believe they can create this giant economic chain letter by borrowing money, handing it to people, and getting them to spend it. And so it's then the idea that if this works, if you have to process it, package it, shelve it, haul it, do all those things, why don't we just throw the food away at the other end of that? We've created the jobs.
Or put everyone on food stamps, or put everyone on food stamps and unemployment. How's that? If it's good for 10% of the country, why isn't it good for 90% or 100% of the country?
Well, that's the question. Here's where we really are. Tom Vilsack doesn't understand our economy. He's tied into the Keynesian economist on steroids who is the man in our White House. They have played their game out to about the end now. The House is not going to give them any more of this Keynesian economic stimulus package. They're trying to plead to their bases about all they can do. There's no more cards the president can play. There's no more that I don't think can be any more outrageously said than Tom Vilsack and Maxine Waters together. Here's what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to produce goods and services that have a marketable value here and abroad. This is a production-driven economy, not a consumer-driven economy, and we will not get it turned around until we understand that and act on it.
All right, sir, before we let you go, you're running against, believe it or not, Secretary of Agriculture's Tom Vilsack's wife. Is that right? Do you think socialism runs in the family there?
Well, she has said that she supports her husband's positions, and she'll let us know when she does not. This is a good question, I think, to ask Christy Vilsack. Do you agree with your husband that food stamps are economic stimulars, and is there anybody that shouldn't get them then if we're going to stimulate the economy by borrowing money from the Chinese and handing out food stamps and unemployment checks because it's the same philosophy?
You want to know something, sir? That is a great question. We should ask them, whether it's Vilsack or Obama, whether the Chinese think it's a good idea to stimulate our economy through giving away tax dollars or hard-earned working Americans' money to people who are on food stamps and unemployment benefits. So we're going to have to leave it there. Congressman Steve King, thank you very much.